Professor Syed, Dean, and head of this school, the faculty members, and the students, and many academicians who have come from which will be of interest to all of you as youngsters. When so many of you are together here with so much of enthusiasm and energy, it is not unrealistic for me to ask you a question. How are we going to realize a future that all of us want, which is sustainable, healthy, peaceful, and secure? If you look at the Earth system's limits, for example, how much carbon dioxide can we tolerate in our atmosphere? Parts per million by volume. It is about 350 parts per million by volume. But today we have far exceeded that number. Have you ever thought about it? What number comes in your mind? What number comes in your mind? Already we are losing, right? Precisely. We can lose only 10 species per million per year. But as she rightly says, we are losing more than 200 to 300 species per million per year. I'll give you one more. There are several factors, but I will give you one more important one. How much nitrogen can we extract? Million tons per year from the atmosphere. We can extract only 35 million tons per year from the atmosphere, but we have crossed that number. So the Earth has certain limitations. So how are we going to build a future that we want to build? This is the question that comes to all of us. And the second one is the growing population. By 2050, we will have close to about 10 billion people on Earth. And then the human needs are also increasing. We want to have clean energy, we want to have clean water, we want to have nutritious food, we want to have several materials also. If you want to build aeroplanes, you want to build houses, you want to build trains, you want to make our cell phones, we need different kinds of materials. A challenge before us as a human society. And then we have the aging population. When you pass out of the colleges, when you take up your professions, these are the challenges that you will face. And this is where you will have to find solutions. That is why I wanted to discuss with you a couple of these things. When you have the aging population, it becomes a huge challenge for us because it's a public health challenge. Solid fuels such as coal, and then the gas, the natural gas, which is supposed to be the cleanest fossil fuel. And then you have the renewable energy resources, you have the nuclear energy. In that order, we consume the fuels today. But our over-dependence on the fossil fuels is also pushing us to break the Earth system limits. And that's the reason why now today we face challenges such as the climate change. So how are we going to address these problems? Often when we talk about energy and water, we think these two are two distinct things. But remember, if you want to produce energy, you also need to use water. If I had to produce, let's say, 1000 kilowatt hour of power using liquid sources, I need to use 40-50 liters of water to produce that power. If I use biofuels to produce 1000 kilowatt hour of power, I need to use thousands of liters of water. And on the other hand, if I had to produce clean water, I also need energy. I need to filter that water, I need to transport that water, so I need energy. So these two are interlinked. Towards renewable energy resources such as the solar energy, wind energy, because they do not contaminate, they do not affect the environment and the atmosphere. So this is going to be a challenge for all of us. What about water? Many of you may not have put much thought about it, but India has only 4% of global fresh water supply. Out of this 4% we use, 80% of that is used for agriculture. We have become so self-centered with the technology which is coming into our lives. You cannot stop the progress of technology. Newer and newer technological devices will they will come into our lives. But how will you navigate through the usage of this technology while remaining healthy both physically and mentally? As young people, you may not realize at this time, but as you grow older, 30 years, 40 years, you will see that many lifestyle-related ailments will affect us both mentally and physically, and it will affect our productivity levels. The reproductive functions of our women, these are the cultural and societal values, and the interaction with the other parameters that I have told you, all these things will affect how we are going to design our future that we all want, which is sustainable, which is healthy, which is secure and peaceful. And that is the reason why we want to transform our higher educational system. And then, because of the large numbers that we have, this education has to be provided on a mass scale. So unless we achieve these three goals, how can we realize a future that we all want? And the future that we all want has to be based on two things. One, it should be a woman-led development. Women should be in the forefront in the future that we would like to see, we would like to build. And it has to be inclusive development. Every cross-section of the society, irrespective of their socio-economic background, should be vehicles, should be catalysts for building this future that all of us want. By 2047, we have set a goal for ourselves too, and you're all going to be catalysts. You're all going to be agents of transformation to build such Vikasit Bharat. Let me tell you that today we have 4 pillars of this Vikasit Bharat that we are going to build. That is youth like you, and women, farmers, and the poor. By bringing transformation in our educational system, right from school education to higher education, we need to strengthen all these 4 pillars of our Vikasit Bharat that we all would like to together realize by 2047. And I would like to thank Professor Hassan for giving me this opportunity to share some of my thoughts. It's a wonderful initiative that you are conducting this 2-day national conference to deliberate on shaping the future of education. Once you shape the future of education, we will shape the future that we want to build. I wish you all the best. Thank you.